All right, here are my favorite fractions, the mixed fractions. These guys have both positives and negatives, and they have both whole numbers or integers mixed with fractions. So when we see a mixed number, it's going to have a whole number or an integer with the fraction. So we want to find what 7 and 4/9 plus 10 and 2/9 is. So the cool thing about these is we can first add the integers. So we would get 17, and then we can add the fractions. So really what we have here is 17 and 6/9. Okay, but we're not done there. We've got 17 and 6/9. We can simplify that to 2/3. Okay, and that's what they mean by simplest form. This is technically not in simplest form. We've got to make sure that we first put it in simplest form by simplifying that fraction. Okay, so here we've got 8 and 5/6 minus 2 and 1/3. Whenever I subtract, I like to put them kind of like this, so that way I'm subtracting and I can see everything a little bit better. I don't know why I do it, I just do. So for me, what we need to do is we need to first make sure they have common denominators. Remember, we learned that in the last one. So no longer 1/3, instead it's going to be 2/6. So now what we have here is 5/6 minus 2/6, which would be 3/6, and 8 minus 2 is 6. So we have 6 and 1/2. All right, so make sure you first have common denominators and go for it. Try these four. When you're done, unpause the video and I'm going to show you the answers. Okay, so for this first one here, we're going to add the 6 with the 2 and get 8. Add 1 plus 5 and know that these are eighths. So we get 8 and 6/8. Is that simplified? No, the 6 can be divided by 2 and the 8 can be divided by 2. So 8 and 3/4. That's my answer. B, we've got not common denominators, so we need to make sure that they are. So this would be like 2/10. So now I've got 5 plus 2, which is 7, and 2 plus 3, and these are tenths. So now I have 7 and 5/10. I'm not done yet though. We got to simplify the 5 and the 10. So 7 and 1/2. Okay, down here we need to make sure we have common denominators. We've got 8/10. So I always rewrite it. Again, if you don't like doing that, you don't have to, but I do. I rewrite it so that way I can say, okay, this is 8 minus 3, which would be 5/10, and 5 minus 1 is 4. So this would be like 4 and 1/2. Okay, over here, 8 and 2/3, 2 and 1/2. Okay. These I need to make sure common denominators on both of them. So let's do 6. So we get 4/6 here minus 2 and 3/6. Okay, so if I do this, we've got 6 and 1/6. All right, and now let's try a little bit harder ones. Okay, what if I have to regroup them? Because 2 and 1/3, if I look at this, minus 1 and 2/3. Okay, can I subtract 2/3 from 1/3? No, so what I need to then do is pretend like that's a 1 and 3/3 with my 1/3. So technically, to regroup them, I'm going to make it 1 and 4/3 because this would really be 2. Do you see what I did there? And then I can subtract the 1 and 2/3. It makes my life a little bit easier. So 4/3 minus 2/3 is 2/3, and 1 minus 1 is 0, so my answer would be 2/3. Okay, so make sure you go back and you rewatch that part, because that's going to, it might not make as much sense, but if you rewatch it, I bet it will. Because what we did here is we took that 2 and we thought about it and we said, okay, what if that 2 was a 1 and 3/3? That's the same as 2. And then if we add our additional 1/3 on, it's like I have 1 and 4/3. Okay, number 4. I've got 7 minus 1.5. Okay, I know you could probably do this in your head, but let's prove it with fractions. This could be like 6 and 2 halves, right? So 6 and 2 halves minus 1.5 would be, okay, 6 minus 1 is 5, and 2 minus 1 half, or 2 halves minus 1 half is 1 half. So 5.5. Okay, go ahead and try these two on your own. I'll be back in just a second to show you the answers. Okay, so what we need to do here first is we need to make common denominators for both of these. 8 and 12. What number goes into both? So I can make the multiples of 8, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. Okay, let's see if I have to go further. 12, 24. Ooh, we don't have to go any further than 24. So 12 times 2 is 24, so 11 times 2 is 22. So I've got 4 and 22 24ths. And over here, 8 times 3 gives me 24. 3 times 3 gives me 9. So I've got 5 and 9 24ths. Okay, I always like, oops, I can't do that. I always like to write them kind of in this vertical fashion because I find that it's easier to see. So I'm going to change this to a 4 and 24 24ths. So instead of having 9 24ths and 24 24ths, I add them together. And so I get 24 and 9, which is 33 24ths. And so that makes 4 and 33 24ths. This would be 4 and 22 24ths. So when I subtract, I get 9 24ths. Now, can 9 24ths be simplified? Yes, 3/8. So my answer is a negative. Oh, I don't know why I had that there. Never mind. My answer is just 3/8. It's not negative because he was positive. He was negative. Okay, so 8 and minus 3 and 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this. 8 minus 3 and 3/4. I'm going to change the 8 to a 7 and 4/4. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So I have 1/4. 7 minus 3 is 4. So 4 and 1/4. All right, that is all I have for you today. So make sure you go back and rewatch the video if you need to. See you next time.